Hi, this is Michael Ogechi Abbey with Enterprise Express Tax once again. Today I'm actually talking about your taxes and security. And essentially what I'm trying to really put together is some kind of information that lets you know what you need to do in order to secure your tax data. And we're talking about this from the perspective of both yourself, because there is a responsibility on behalf of the taxpayer, as well as from the perspective of your tax preparer, your CPA, or your tax professional. So this is extremely important because there have been, especially in the last couple of years, a lot of stuff going on with people's tax data being stolen. Um, I'm sure that you've heard about cases where people have been claiming tax returns with stolen social security numbers. And so it's a big problem. And if I may say, tax professionals or tax professionals' offices have also been targeted by cyber criminals. And you can imagine why. Just think about it. Tax professionals, all right, the tax office, imagine all the information that's stored in their systems. And so the IRS has taken a very proactive approach on this and is actually requiring tax professionals and tax offices to have a written security plan. It's called a WISP, WISP, a written security plan, which can be inspected at any time by the IRS just to ensure that taxpayer data is kept absolutely secure. Okay, so here's the first thing that you need to know. When you go to a tax or take your tax information to a tax professional's office, there is a requirement by the IRS that that tax office has a responsibility to keep your tax data secure. Here are a number of ways that the IRS requires this to be done. One, secure passwords. Two, ensuring that only qualified people have access to the computers in that tax office. And also, three, I just mentioned the WISP written security plan. That tax office has a written security plan that conforms to the Internal Revenue Services requirements. And that plan includes things like having passwords, again, having updated computer equipment with updated software, all right, that has the capability for security software, updated security software that is up to the standards required by the IRS. Now, to be honest with you, if you or a tax office, if a tax office has updated security equipment, computer equipment, then it's quite likely that this is already in place. I'll give you an example. Windows 10. All right. If you walk into a tax office and they still have old copies of Windows 10 that they're running, it's quite possible that it's not going to be up to date with the latest security software run by Windows. And that's because Windows 10 has a time frame within which it is going to expire. And I think it's already that time frame has passed. Now there are some situations where some companies, if you own Windows 10 software license, you may well be able to extend the security updates through October of this year. But then again, that's not long. So the ideal thing would be to have an office that's actually now running Windows 11. All right. The reason why I emphasize this is once you're running Windows 11 software, you're ready, a sort of you're bought in to that ecosystem that already has the upgraded security software. All right. So that's one key thing. The other thing is, if you walk into the office, you can always ask them. You can say, hey, I just want to be sure that my taxpayers' data is secure, do you have a written security plan? And you can ask them, say, hey, can I, just see a copy? Now, they're not compelled to show you that copy. They're only compelled to show that copy to the IRS. But if they really want to assure you, they may give you some pointers and tell you this is how we secure our data, our tax, customers' data. Very, very, very important. Now, um, the responsibility on your side is that you want to make sure that when you're sharing data with your tax professional or with your CPA, make sure that it's not shared on an open platform like general email. All right, make sure that you get that information to them. Most tax preparers have some kind of a secure portal where you can upload the data, or you can even create your own portal. Dropbox, Google, they all have ways in which you can send data in a more, secure manner. All right. So on your part, that's what you can do. I mean, ensure that when you send the information to them, it's sent in a secure manner. Okay, not just by open email. We have a secure portal, which is what we tend to use, where our clients have passwords and they can log into the portal, upload their documents, and only us or anyone who's authorized by our company can access that portal and take a look at those documents. All right, so that's one way that I would suggest that you share information with your tax professional, tax company, or even your CPA. Um, but certainly not just by general email. Okay. So, without going too far into this, I think what I've tried to cover is the responsibilities of the tax professional CPA company is to make sure that they have a WISP, a written information security plan, that they abide by the IRS rules, which includes passwords, which includes making sure that only authorized persons have access to those computers, and also making sure that when they are in the office, all right, that the computers are not left in such a way that just anyone can come in and take a look at what's on the computer, what's on the computer screens, okay? The responsibility again on your part is to make sure that even when you're sharing information, when you're sending information to a tax professional, that it's shared in such a way that there are enough security protocols. Um, you could use a tax portal, or you could use encrypted information with software like Adobe. You can encrypt the information. You can mask the social security numbers. There's a certain number of things you can do to ensure that your taxpayer data is sent securely. Okay. I'm definitely going to be going into this a little bit more. I'll be having more videos on this just because it's such an important issue, and I really do think that people need to be aware and take the necessary precautions to ensure that their data is kept securely. And I want to emphasize, yes, your tax professional does have a huge responsibility, but you also, as a tax client, you also have a responsibility to make sure that you do your part to ensure that your tax data is also not shared irresponsibly. Once again, if you do like this video, please click on the like button, subscribe to my channel, and we are Enterprise Express Tax Service. We do taxes in all 50 states, and so if you feel like you'll be comfortable having and trusting us with your tax preparation, give us a call, send us an email, through social media, through contact phone, or even through this channel, and we'll be glad to help you out. Michael Abbey, Enterprise Express Tax Service. Bye.